yeah. It's been like,
Oh, I had to hit record. Okay. Are you ready for the top five movies of 2004?
yeah, let's do
All
it.
right.
It just
Yes.
seems like, it's been like because of vacations and other things, it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it almost feels like 3 years.
Yeah,
But
I know. So it's like a little, I don't know what you would say.
all
Uh,
right. Yeah.
but
Long
anyway,
time in the
this was
making.
like, for me, this was like a very difficult year.
Yeah.
There was like a lot of good movies, and even at the end, I got a couple of honorable mentions besides the number
Okay.
six.
All right.
So
Well, you want to start then?
yeah, my first
Okay.
one is the Bourne Supremacy.
Ah, yeah. I thought about that one.
Yeah, and it's the second episode. Uh, Jason Bourne, Matt Damon. It takes place 2 years after the first one. They're now hiding out,
Hmm.
uh, in India,
Right.
and it opens up with this car chase. It's not really a car chase. It's their car trying to speed away from an assassin,
Right.
and he catches them on the bridge. It goes in the water. His girlfriend Marie from the first episode, uh, shot in the head. So
Killed off almost instantly in this movie. Yeah.
instantly, I mean, this
Yeah.
movie has one of the best chase scenes
Hmm.
in it was taking place in Russia that I have ever seen. It's got
Yeah.
to be in my top five car chase movies, and I've
Yep.
seen tons of car chase movies.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and the first movie had a great car chase scene too. But this, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
The action in this one is elevated to another level.
I mean,
Paul
so
Greengrass
many
directed.
cars. It was just like one
Yeah,
car after another, after another, after another.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
But
know.
yeah, great sequel. I mean, this I think it's one of the probably the best trilogies of all time. Because this one and Ultimatum also were both so good.
Right, not counting the next two also.
Right, right. Which I did not see actually either one of those now that I think about it.
You didn't
But
see the final one
no,
where Damon was back in it again?
no, I didn't
Yeah,
see
the
it.
one that Damon wasn't in, and then they were making believe that he was in.
Right,
But yeah, so this one continues where he's still got amnesia, he still doesn't remember everything.
right.
Treadstone's been stopped, but now he's been implicated in something. The Russians,
Yeah,
forged his fingerprints, and now the CIA is involved, and everything just keeps going. So
yeah.
now he's fighting against the CIA and stuff, trying to find out who he is.
And now there's even the revenge element because his girlfriend,
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
yes.
it's
So
good stuff.
it's like action packed,
Oh yeah.
right from the beginning.
Yep. Good pick. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my number five is The Aviator.
Oh, that's on my honorable mentions.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie by Martin Scorsese. Was nominated for a bunch of awards. I don't know if he won any, but um, DiCaprio plays Howard Hughes, the aviator slash filmmaker slash recluse. uh, it's like I think it's a 3 hour movie. It's pretty long, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Howard Hughes was a little wacky.
just a tad. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know if they had the urine samples in the movie and stuff.
Yeah, they did that.
They
And
did that.
yeah,
Yeah,
where he was and he kept saying, "Show me all the blueprints, show me all the blueprints," over and over
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Like,
Right.
yeah,
It was, if I remember, it was mostly about the that huge plane, the Flying Goose,
right,
whether or not it would ever take off, and he just kept delaying it, delaying it, delaying it.
right. Yeah, but it showed like he really was a brilliant guy that was ahead of his time with whatever that movie Hell's Angels, or I think was what it was called, where doing all these camera shots from planes and stuff that had never been done. And then, of
Yeah,
course, yeah, the big plane, which really kind of pushed forward commercial flight. So, but yeah, the cost of his genius was also the craziness toward the
I
end.
know.
So,
Yeah, I mean, he was a big uh, germaphobe.
right. Yeah.
But anything, bacteria. So
Yeah.
he'd be locked up in his hotel room and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's a great biographical
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, great Scorsese movie who had so many great movies that I don't even think this ended up making our individual top fives when we did that episode, but a really good one. So, what's your number four?
My number four is Sideways.
Ah, that's a good pick. I thought about that
Yeah,
one too.
yeah. It's like one of these, offbeat movies that come along every once in a while.
Yes.
Uh, so it's two guys celebrating this his Giamatti's
Hmm.
friend's wedding. So
Right.
they're going into the wine country, and actually Giamatti knows one of the girls there, and then his friend is like cheating,
Right.
with the
The
Chinese
waitress.
girl.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
her too. Yeah.
Sandra Oh,
Right.
stuff like that. And he's telling her he's going to marry her and all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of wine connoisseurs,
Yeah.
together, dating and whatever and stuff like that. But it's like a fun movie.
Yeah, and
It's great.
Giamatti is great in it. Like,
Yeah.
he basically has an alcohol problem.
Does he
Because
really?
well, I mean, you can tell that he's drinking. There's that one scene where they stop giving him wine and he's like, "Give me
Yeah.
more," and then he puts his head under the thing,
Oh yeah, I
and
remember. Yeah, that
yeah,
when
yeah,
he's in the bar,
yeah,
he goes, give me the bottle.
right,
And he
right,
goes, no, 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 because it was a tasting thing.
exactly, right.
And then he picks up where people just spit the wine in and he starts drinking the
Yeah,
shit out of
yeah,
it. That
so
was that was
crazy.
that was a disgusting scene. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but he
yeah,
was having the issue because he had, gone through a divorce or whatever, and
yeah,
so he really did some great acting in that. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff that happens towards the end too with
yeah. I
the
mean, yeah,
waitress or whatever.
it's a great like romantic comedy road trip thing, I guess you would call it.
Is yeah, definitely a great pick.
Yeah, he's a depressed teacher. He's writing a book,
Right.
and
Oh, and
so
Virginia Madsen is really good in it too.
yeah,
Like,
right. She plays his girlfriend.
yeah, she that scene where she's talking about how wine is alive or whatever, that she does
Yeah,
this
yeah. There
speech.
was like
Yeah.
it all these conversations about wine, so they
Yeah.
weren't really talking about how they were really feeling.
Hmm. Right.
It was like you could see that there was an attraction,
Right.
but it was like stiff on Giamatti's side. She
Yeah.
was trying and he was unsure, that type of thing.
Right.
So, one of those weird romance things
Exactly.
that I
Yeah.
usually don't,
Yeah, I
get
was surprised on this
really,
one.
yeah.
So okay, cool. Well, my number four is Garden State.
I
Uh
never saw that one.
no, you did. I showed this to you once when you came to visit.
Oh, did I? Well,
Uh,
remind me. What was it?
okay, it's directed and written and stars Zach Braff, the guy from the show Scrubs, and his mother dies, and he flies back from California to New Jersey to go to the funeral and stay with his dad, who's played by uh, Bob somebody, the guy that plays Bilbo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings. I forget
Okay.
the actor's name. But they have kind of like they're trying to mend their relationship, but then he also meets this girl, Natalie Portman plays the girl who is kind of quirky and wears a helmet because she has epilepsy. and it's also kind of like a cute romantic movie, but it's just kind of like actually similar to Sideways in that it has like these weird comedic moments that are just kind of unusual. I'm trying to think of something you would remember from the movie. Obviously, it
Yeah,
wasn't very memorable to
nothing's
you.
ringing a bell.
Yeah, one of the things I love the most about the movie is actually the soundtrack because it's very eclectic and has like everything from Simon and Garfunkel old stuff to current day stuff like Coldplay. Um, so that was one of the selling points of the movie. Like it had this great, cool indie rock soundtrack, but also it was like I don't sort of like a coming of age movie. It was like him, I guess, in his early 30s. And I think it hit me at the time because I was getting to that age when it came out. And one of the issues that he had in the movie was like he was on all these medications that where he just felt numb to everything.
Yeah,
So the whole movie was kind of him getting to be a normal human being by the end of it. So,
yeah, and
um,
actually Portman was in another movie that year also. That
uh,
was not included on mine either. I don't know if it's
okay.
included in yours.
No, I don't think so. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the movie would be Closure.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, it wasn't on my list. But yeah, Portman was great in Garden State. If you don't remember it, you should see it
I'll have
again.
to watch it again now. You
Yeah,
do this to me all the time.
I know. There might be some more of those higher on my list. So
Probably.
what's your number three?
I know there's a Wes Craven hanging out there.
Wes Anderson, you mean?
Wes Anderson, whatever.
Yes. All right, what's your three?
My three is Million Dollar Baby.
Ah, okay. Man, that's a bummer of a movie. But
Yeah, it is in a way. I mean, yeah, because well, yeah, she comes from you know a down childhood upbringing and stuff like that, and she's like 30ish, and
mhm,
now she wants to become a boxer.
right.
And Eastwood is great in the movie. He's great directing it and great in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Morgan Freeman is also, good in
Mhm.
the movie, and he's, he's also narrating the movie.
Yeah, yeah. I think they
So
pretty much swept the Academy Awards with this thing. Like,
yeah, they did
yeah,
Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress,
yep,
and Best Supporting Actor for Freeman.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, deserving. I mean, they all did an amazing job.
Right.
And
I mean, the film grossed 216.8 million, and that wasn't even in the top 10.
wow, that's
Yeah,
surprising it made that much actually, because it feels like kind of an independent film.
yeah, yeah.
But
Basically, it was. Yeah,
yeah,
and the ending was sad. I mean, she
yeah,
finally was getting her big shot.
right. And then yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
hospitalized and
yeah. And then
yep.
she finds out the family wants all her money.
Yeah, right. That was like
Yeah,
the most heartbreaking part of the movie, actually.
I know. And
So
yeah, the ending was horrible. It was, I guess, it was probably like the last 20 minutes or
right.
30 minutes of the picture.
Yeah, but Hilary Swank was amazing in that and deserved the award for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, good pick. Okay. You're surprising me with your pick so far. So so my number three for sure is not going to be on your list. It's a straight up comedy and it's Anchorman. Will Ferrell.
Yes, I know Will Ferrell. I actually
What
do not like Will Ferrell movies. I think you made me watch that.
did I probably?
Yes,
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's like,
exactly.
yes. It knows its goal of being stupid and it exceeds very well.
That did not even make my honorable mention.
Yeah, but I mean, it has an all-star cast of comedy. It's got Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, who plays a total moron, Paul Rudd. I mean, they all play morons to some degree. but Christina Applegate plays the love interest, and she's also hilarious in it. Then you got Fred Willard, who plays the director of the news station, but it's all set in the 70s, and it's all about this, macho guy, who Will Ferrell plays, the anchor man, and Ron Burgundy is the name of the character, and he's interested in this girl, but she wants to also be an anchor, so that's the conflict. And because it's the 70s, they didn't want, a woman anchor yet, so there is actually a story in there, but it's just ridiculous, some of the things that occur. And I just laugh from start to finish. Oh, Vince Vaughn is in it too. There's even one scene where Ben Stiller shows up, and and Luke Wilson, and they have this huge war outside in the street with tridents and all this stuff. It's so stupid. But yeah, I know I'm not going to convince you on this one. But it's great. So what's your number two? Yes. What's your two?
My two is Kill Bill 2.
Ah, okay. Yep. That's right. They were back to back.
Yeah, they were back to back. So this picks up where she left off.
Yep.
She got rid of Lucy Liu's rather. I'm getting the Asians mixed up here.
Right.
Character. So now she's out to kill off the other people that killed off everybody in the wedding party.
Right.
This one is like a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
In that, she's training with Pai Mei.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then
I love that part though. The training part is great.
Yeah, and it also shows more of the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
How everybody dies and how they come in, and all this other stuff, and where Bill's telling her, no, it's fine, she can get married and all this other stuff.
Right,
So it goes into more detail of what happened in the wedding and stuff, and then Bill tells his brother that she's going to be coming looking for him, so he's all ready for her. So she comes in and opens up the door, and he's there with a shotgun filled with rock salt. Hits her right in the chest.
Yeah. Lots of crazy stuff in this one.
Sedates her, buries her alive.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the part where she gets out of being buried alive is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
and
then and that was part of her Pai Mei training too.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the whole thing with the snake that she leaves in the room with the other girl, Daryl Hannah. That was great.
And she popped out her eye.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, because Pai Mei popped out her other eye.
Right.
So she popped out her eye. Now she's like totally blind, walking around in the trailer with the
snake,
snake in it and stuff. Yeah. So a lot of good stuff. And
the way she kills Bill, she gets to use the move on him, it makes his heart explode or something.
Yes, the 5-point palm exploding heart technique.
Yeah. So ridiculous, man.
Good stuff in the movie.
Yeah. Great pick. Okay. So my number two is another one that's going to make your head spin. It's Napoleon Dynamite. You may not even have heard of this movie.
I heard it. Yes, the title. I've heard the title.
Okay. It's like a Wes Anderson movie, but it's made by someone else. But it has this character, Napoleon Dynamite, who, is just him alone. Just the way he talks, and like he's this nerdy kid, but they live in Idaho. And I don't even remember the plot of the movie necessarily, but it's just the character and him getting into these hijinks with his friend Pedro, and he wears this t-shirt that says "Vote for Pedro" because it's all in high school. This kid Pedro wants to run for high school president, but they're all these like nerdy kids but it's just the way they talk. I can't explain it. That makes it so funny. And his brother like is trying to talk to this girl on the phone and become her boyfriend, and then his uncle Rico still thinks he's a football player and is like always throwing footballs, but it's just like from one scene to the next you don't know what's going to happen, and it's all like super hilarious, especially just the Idaho stuff is just so weird. Like he's works on this chicken farm for a day to get money, and he just has like a handful of change, and it's just it's such a bizarre movie, and it's great. So that's my number 2. And
we know what the number 1 is.
Yes. So what's your number 1?
My number 1, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
I knew it was going to be that. Okay. Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay.
This is the 3rd one. They're now about 13 years of age.
Yep.
And the Prisoner of Azkaban is Cyrus Black. And allegedly he killed Harry Potter's parents. Okay. But there's a lot of other things that is going on in the movie, and also finding out who Cyrus Black really is. Right. And this is the first time that Michael Gambon played Professor Albus Dumbledore, due to the fact that Richard Harris died. Okay. Yeah. But I mean, there's like a lot of new characters in it. This is definitely not a movie for kids, because it introduces the Dementors. Okay. And the Dementors are these beings that fly around, and they look like rapes. That's creepy. And they suck out your soul. Nice. And they're the ones that are guarding Azkaban. So because Sirius Black escapes, those things are all over the place looking for him and stuff like that. Okay. And one attacks Harry when he's on the train, going back to school and stuff. So because of that, he convinces one of his teachers to teach him the Patronus charm. Okay. And what that does is, if you do it correctly, it creates this shield so that the Dementors attack the shield instead of you. Okay, gotcha. And that's a big part in the movie also. So cool. It's getting really good, and he's learning more and more about his parents and who they were and what they were like. Right. The movie is progressing along, and we're getting to the point where it's getting very, very interesting. It's becoming a more adult movie at this point. So I can expect more Harry Potters in future year episodes. Oh, without a doubt. All right. The Deathly Hallows by far are probably the best movies, and those are the last 2. Okay. How many are there? Oh, God. There's got to be like 7 or 8, probably. No, let's see. It's the 3rd one. 4, 5, maybe 7. Okay. 7 or 8. All right. Well, we know what to expect in future episodes. In the future. And you knew to expect that my number 1 was The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. The Wes Anderson movie starring Bill Murray. Is that the last Wes Anderson movie, I hope? No, there will be some more. Because we've all suffered through those. But no, this is one of my very favorites. It's right under Rushmore for me. You say that all the time. Yeah.
but no, it's the more Bill Murray you can have in a lead role, the better. And he plays such a like kind of a scoundrel in this, which he's really good at, as we know. Um, and he plays this kind of Jacques Cousteau character who's searching for a shark that ate his friend. And in the meantime, Owen Wilson comes in as his long lost son. And so they're trying to work on this new relationship. And then Cate Blanchett plays this reporter who's aboard, who's pregnant, and all this craziness ensues with pirates and all kinds of interesting sea creatures that are mostly animated, which is interesting. Have you seen this one, by the way?
Yeah.
Ah, man, it's great. Willem Dafoe plays this crazy German character named Klaus, and they all have to wear these outfits with red Speedos. And what's his name is also in it. The guy who played Jeff Goldblum plays like his nemesis as this other explorer.
Well, if Goldblum is in it, maybe I have to see it. He's wacky and
yeah,
all the time himself.
Yeah, it's great. And there's actually some really cool adventure stuff in this movie because it's set, on the water basically. And yeah, Murray is awesome and Goldblum is great. Defoe is great. And Owen Wilson's pretty great too. So I highly, if you watch any Wes Anderson movie, I know you've seen Rushmore. This would be the one to try.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, so now combining this is going to be interesting. I'm thinking Harry Potter is going to have the higher score.
It's 4.1.
You already checked. Okay. Let's see what the Life Aquatic is. 3.8. So you got it. Harry Potter at number 1. Life Aquatic at 2. So now we got Kill Bill versus Napoleon Dynamite.
And Kill Bill is 4.0.
Oh, yeah. There's no way Napoleon Dynamite is that high.
Yeah, 2.8 maybe.
3.6, actually.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
So that's at 4. So now at 5, it's between $1 Million Baby and Anchorman.
3.9 for $1 Million Baby.
I will be amazed if Anchorman is that high. 3.5. So you got it with $1 Million Baby. You beat me at every one. Oh, well. Well, that's cool. So what's your honorable mention?
Before Sunset.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that the first one or the sequel? I forget.
That's the sequel. This is 10 years later.
In Paris, right?
Yes, in Paris. This is
Yeah.
the Paris one.
Yeah, that was my
the first
favorite
one
of
was
those.
German. Yeah, and you really have to see. Well, I guess it could stand alone on its own, but you really have to see the first one to know what's going on. And it's just basically talking.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy.
Right.
Yeah, they're both great though.
Yeah, and they're just like, talking back and forth. And the first one they just meet. The second one, it's 10 years later, and they were supposed to meet, but they did not meet.
Right.
Because the girl had an obligation with a funeral.
Yeah, and he already was in a relationship. So the question at the end of the movie is, does he basically have an affair or not?
Right. And the end of the first one was, well, did they have sex or not?
Right. Yeah. I haven't seen the third one yet, but I heard that one's good too.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen the third one yet either.
Okay, cool. But yeah, good pick for honorable mention. Mine is also a romantic movie, and I picked The Notebook as my honorable mention.
Forgot all about The Notebook. That happened then too.
Yeah.
That was always a biggie. I'm surprised it wasn't like number 1, but
yeah. No,
I
yeah,
mean,
that one, that one's kind of tough to watch over and over again because of the
right.
the
Yeah,
subject matter. But
I only saw it once, and I
yeah,
only watched it because people were raving about it.
right. Yeah, but
Yeah,
everybody's great in it. James Garner is really good as the adult version of the guy.
yeah,
And I thought that was really good acting, and it's really cool how it ends actually, where they end up
yeah.
passing away at
I,
the same time.
Same time, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's like a billion to one shot, probably
exactly,
even a trillion to one shot.
yeah,
And then real quick, the other honorable mentions,
yes,
Collateral, The
uh-huh,
Day After Tomorrow, I, Robot, one of my favorite King Arthur movies, King Arthur,
yeah,
National Treasure, Ocean's 12, The Phantom of the Opera, my favorite zombie movies, Resident Evil Apocalypse,
okay,
Spider-Man 2, which didn't even make our list,
yeah,
Van Helsing, and
uh,
one of my favorite comedies, The Whole 10 Yards.
wow, yeah, there was a lot of good stuff that year,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
plus
got,
all the ones that we mentioned.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
cream of the crop, baby. So all
yeah.
right,
I mean,
so,
we didn't have any of our movies uncommon.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
So that was uh 12 right there.
right,
Plus, another 10. That was like
yeah.
22 movies. I mean, that was a really good movie year.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's read off the final list. Top 5 favorite movies of 3 and 4 from 2004. At number 5, Million Dollar Baby. At number 4, Napoleon Dynamite. At number 3, Kill Bill Volume 2. At number 2, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. And at number 1, Harry Potter and the Prisoner from Azkaban. Is it from Azkaban or of Azkaban?
Of Azkaban.
Damn it.
But you were good. You were close. You got to watch these movies
Yeah, I
instead
guess
of
so.
binging Steinfeld or
Seinfeld never fails to bring a smile though. But all right, well, good episode. We'll see you on the next one, the top 5 movies of 2005, and we'll see if we have any in common. So
okay.
all right, see you then. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.